You're probably well aware of the SEC crackdown by now. Binance.us, Coinbase, Kraken, all of these were affected. None have been spared, and as a result, these exchanges are struggling to find banking partners. Other exchanges, too, that have been affected indirectly. USD on-ramps and off-ramps are being suspended, and many of us need solutions to these recurring problems that, frankly, just seem to keep getting worse. That is when we came across Spritz Finance, and actually we partnered with them because Stu, one of our leading researchers and writers, was already organically using Spritz's various financial services. I got into it, I explored and researched more. I was blown away by seeing all the great services that they offer. In essence, you can use cryptocurrency to pay your bills and ditch your bank in the process. And as an American citizen working overseas, for example, US banking is an absolute headache. And if you sign up with Spritz, you can even get a $50 credit towards your next bill payment. Let's hear from Stu, learn about his experience, and explore Spritz in more detail. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. As always, I wish you the best of luck if you choose to invest, but I'm not a financial or investment advisor. So just remember that this video is not official financial or investment advice. So this is not going to be like most of our other videos at Altcoin Buzz. And it's also not going to be like most of the other videos out there that are already covering and exploring Spritz Finance. And that's because we've interviewed Stu Lutzman. He's a fellow Altcoin Buzz team member, and he's a team lead actually in terms of, like I mentioned, research and writing, and ultimately a major contributor to this YouTube channel. And as you're going to see in our interview, we just had a casual conversation. Stu is a user of Spritz. He has been for a while. It's simplified his life and makes things much, much easier for people in his situation. So Stu, you are an American. Where are you located now? Where do you find yourself?
That's right. So I'm an American, but I'm currently living in Cali, Colombia. So that's where I'm based now. I live here full time, and but I still keep 2 American credit cards and my American bank account, just to have a little bit of a financial tie still with the US, or for an emergency when I need something that, that costs more than a typical expense. I have the credit card I can use. So every month I have to go in and pay that somehow in dollars, even though I'm really dealing in 3 currencies, right? I'm paid in crypto, I'm paid in stable coins, but then I have these credit card expenses in dollars, and then I have my local expenses in pesos. So it's, so it's like, how do you manage all that without having to use all of these different money transfer services, like the Western Unions and the MoneyGrams of the world, and nobody likes using those. So, so it's, how do you manage all of that? How do you manage living in 3 currencies?
So prior to using Spritz, I mean, you're an American living overseas. What were some of the pain points that you encountered when engaging with your bank or the US banking system?
Oh, man. Yeah. Banking in the US is so bad. It's terrible. It's, because the banks that have the best online banking, to make that part, of like the going online and paying the bills easy, are the biggest banks, and they're the most difficult to work with, right? They're the ones where you get a 1-800 number and email address for everything, right? The banks that are smaller, like little community banks or credit unions that are more personal, where the service is much better, most of them don't have great updated mobile banking technology. So I was stuck having to either accept payments in dollars, which I'd rather not do, or use central exchange off ramps. And in the US, there are not many centralized exchanges anymore that have a fiat on or off ramp. And we know that the 2 biggest ones in the US, the 3 biggest ones, Binance, US, Coinbase, and Kraken, are all in process of being sued by the SEC right now. So you can't rely on those of making sure that you got an off ramp. I've used some of the P2P solutions like Paxful, which I like, but there are a lot of scammers there. So, so it adds a level of stress making sure that, there's not a contested transaction there, or, or I'm having to use one of these money services to send money back and forth to make sure that my bank account has dollars in it to pay these bills. It's a real pain.
So, Stu, what would you say is Spritz in a nutshell if you were to describe it to somebody?
Yeah, I think if I was going to just put it into a couple of short words, I would say it's like a crypto-based online bill pay. That's its main service. There are three things that Spritz offers, but the most important one is online bill pay directly with your crypto without me having to convert back into dollars to make those payments. It's really, really fast and easy. It's inexpensive. There's only a small fee besides the gas that you pay from whatever network you're paying on. It's great. And it's compatible with practically every Web3 wallet. So it's really, really good.
And as far as the target audience, what would you describe who's the main profile that can make use of this sort of service?
Definitely crypto natives like us. Since we both work at Altcoin Buzz, we both have the option of receiving our payment in crypto instead of in local currency. So I get paid in crypto, and the fact that I don't have to convert it back out to pay my bills is amazing. It's fantastic. So I love that. But it's not just crypto natives, what I call digital natives, people that are working online and working remotely. It's great for them. For expats, digital nomads, if you're an American and you're not living in the States and you keep some expenses there, you're paying a mortgage on your house and renting it out to somebody while you're not there. You have power bills to pay, credit cards, everything. If there's one thing that almost every American who lives outside of the U.S. does, that I know, and I did it too, is that we always leave some accounts open, knowing that we might need that extra credit line that our credit card gives us in a place where we're out of cash, or something like that, where you keep a bank account open even if it only has a couple $100 in it. It's very common to not close down everything. It's very common to keep something open, and of course there is the possibility that you might return someday, so you won't have to go through all of that of opening a brand new account again. So if you have a U.S. bank account and you're an American not living in the States, but you still have expenses there, I can't think of a better way to make sure that you can pay for all of your stuff that you have. It's great. And Spritz is a huge, huge help in doing this, because it basically takes dollars out of the equation for me, because I can just log in, pay my bills with my USDT or USDC or whatever other. I don't even have to use stable coins. If I want to pay with Polygon or Cardano, I can. And it just, it takes one of those out of the equation for me, and it just makes things easier, simpler, faster. It's great.
So it sounds like this is saving you a lot of headaches and a lot of hassle. Besides the convenience that Spritz offers you personally, Stu, what are some of the benefits that maybe rewards or other features that would make you want to pick up the service?
Right. Well, Spritz has a really, really good affiliate program. They used to have a basic refer a friend kind of thing, where if you introduce a friend to it and they sign up and spend $50 on a payment for something, then you get credit for that. Then you get $50 too. But now there's an even better, more formal affiliate program that they're starting. So if you try the service and you like it as much as I do, and you introduce a couple of friends to it, then everybody gets to save a little bit of money. So it's pretty nice. And it works really, really great. And as far as I'm concerned, anything that keeps me from having to deal with my American bank, but I can still get all of my bills paid and all of that, is definitely something I want more of.
So just to make sure that we're all on the same page, Spritz's primary service is paying bills. And as you probably saw from what Stu and I discussed, when you don't have to convert your USDT into dollars in order to pay a bill, that just cuts out an extra step. It makes things more efficient. Maybe you have a similar situation to Stu. You have bills to pay. Maybe you're dealing with multiple currencies. But Spritz does all of this very inexpensively as well, while letting you bypass your bank entirely and that whole annoying experience to make sure that your bills are paid. It's got some other great services for American citizens, especially like fiat off-ramps and virtual debit cards, which are linked to your account. And the virtual debit card is particularly good since it's a MasterCard debit card, and all you have to do is move some of your crypto into it in order to have a positive balance. And then you can use your crypto really to pay anywhere that you can use a virtual debit card. Remember that old saying that banking services, yes, are needed, but that banks are not. Services like the virtual debit card and direct bill payments with crypto allow Americans to entirely avoid their banks with ease if that's what they want. And I say Americans, that's for now, but more countries are going to be introduced very soon. Again, if you're an American citizen but not currently living in the US, but still have US bills, as you would as an expat or a digital nomad or an online worker, then this is an amazing advancement for you. It's a life hack and a major simplification. More improvements like support for Bitcoin payments are also coming soon, by the way. And right now, I'm going to demo just how easy it is to pay an actual bill with Spritz. So Stu decided to record this portion to illustrate how fast it all is. So this is his footage. This is him actually paying one of his bills. Okay, so first of all, he's going to log in, and that's to pay a Bank of America credit card bill, which, as you can see, has a pretty small balance on it. By the way, guys, whether or not we're talking about Spritz or crypto, at a more macro, everyday level, it's always a good idea to keep your credit card balances low. Moving right along here, Stu connects his MetaMask wallet and decides to use the Polygon network to pay his bill because the gas fees are low. You can see here the places to add your bank account for the off-ramp service, and under the Spend tab, you can see the virtual debit card, which right now has a $40 balance on it. Okay, now onto those bills. Here, you can see the bill for $1.39 with his Bank of America credit card. Stu is programming the payment now, and you can see it's very simple and user-friendly. For some reason, the MetaMask notifications did not show up on the screen, but they're the same as always. So notifications include approve the use of this app, approve that you're going to transact with a transaction limit, always put a number in here as a security measure, and also confirming the actual transaction. These are always normally notifications, but I'm just not sure why they didn't come up here. Okay, and then as you can see in less than 2 minutes here, with no conversions and no added fees, the bill is paid. It's super fast and it's very convenient. And maybe this suite of services offered by Spritz are the kinds that could make your life a lot easier, that could allow you to ditch your bank forever and pay your bills with ease. Check out the link in the description of this video. If you sign up with Spritz using our link, and if you pay at least $50 worth of bills, you're actually going to get a free $50 credit toward your next bill. It is not a service that necessarily applies to everybody watching this video, but if you do fall into one of those camps and you want to cut out those middle steps, you want to avoid the fees, Spritz is an absolute lifesaver. Check it out. Once again, the link is in the description of this video.